Honestly, guys, you can't make this up. You can't make this up. Honestly, look. Okay. Team Facts and Logic have their favorite news source expose themselves for being fake news. Because don't get me wrong, look, they've denounced Fox News since wow. Honestly, the spicy one's NewsMaxx anyway, because they're on that's the new Fox News, right? NewsMaxx. So yeah, let's see what NewsMaxx has to say.
Since Election Day, various guests, attorneys, and elected officials have appeared on NewsMaxx and offered opinions and claims about Smartmatic and Dominion Systems, both companies that offer voting software in the U.S. And NewsMaxx would like to clarify its news coverage and note that it has not reported as true certain claims made about these companies.
American politics is a circus. How embarrassing. Oh my goodness. Wow. You know, on one side, you've got these guys that, like, you know, are really hyperbolic. Everything's so offensive and preachy and feelings. And then on the other side, you've got these guys that preach about facts and evidence, but then they're just going off beliefs and unknowns. And their epistemology, their theory of knowledge is so, like, non-existent. Like, they don't know how to know things. Literally, their theory of knowledge is non-existent. They don't know how they know things. They're just like, oh, well, I don't agree with that, so that's fake news. And then even when the fake... and even when their so-called verifiably factual top number one tier S news source, which is in reality fake news, admits that they're fake news, they're just like, oh, well, I don't listen to them anymore. I moved here. Actually, no, it's the opposite, wasn't it? It was the inverse. Fox News, Tucker Carlson had decided to tell the truth for once and be honest. And they're like, oh, well, he's a traitor. He's a rhino. Now these guys are going to be rhinos. OAN is going to be the only news source that they listen to. And then OAN is going to have to say, look, we need to... Oh, how embarrassing. So yeah, he just talks about how basically there's no evidence. I mean, you want to torture these guys anymore? Do we have to? Might as well.
There are several facts our viewers and readers should be aware of. NewsMaxx has found no evidence that either Dominion or Smartmatic owns the other or has any business association with each other. We have no evidence that Dominion uses Smartmatic software or vice versa. No evidence has been offered that Dominion or Smartmatic used software or reprogrammed software that manipulated votes in the 2020 election. Smartmatic has stated that its software was only used in the 2020 election in Los Angeles, was not used in any battleground state contested by the Trump campaign. NewsMaxx has no evidence to the contrary. Dominion has stated the company has no ownership relationship with the Pelosi family, the Feinstein family, the Clinton family, Hugo Chavez, or the government of Venezuela. Neither Dominion nor Smartmatic has any relationship with George Soros. Smartmatic is a U.S. company and not owned by the Venezuelan government, Hugo Chavez, or any foreign official or entity. Smartmatic states that it has no operations in Venezuela. While the company did election projects in Venezuela from 2004 to 2017, it was never founded by Hugo Chavez, nor did it have a corrupt relationship with him or the Venezuelan government. For more on this, please go to our website at newsmax.com. Read facts about Dominion Smartmatic that you should know.
Wow. Unreal. Unreal.
Since Election Day,
So sad.
various guests, attorneys, and elected officials have appeared on NewsMaxx and offered opinion and software in the U.S.
Crazy. All right. Well, there's one more. I think there's one from Fox News. Apparently, according to Reddit. Get all your news from Reddit, bro. Actually, I'm going to have a video about how to actually spot fake news and how to actually find out the truth in something, right? Unless you believe that all of the media companies, you know, the tens of them, perhaps even, you know, hundreds of them that are out there, are all liars. Or they're all lying together and working together because they, you know, they must just be one company working in cohesion to have one narrative, except plenty of news companies have conflicting narratives. Whatever. But yeah, there's a really simple strategy, to be honest, and it involves not just consuming from one news source. Shocking enough. Anyway, Fox News, the best news, right? Right, let's find out. I mean, they've already debunked it and said they don't like it because Tucker Carlson told the truth once, but let's find out.
There are lots of opinions about the integrity of the election, the irregularities of mail-in voting, of election voting machines.
This stuff's so hard live. Yeah, okay, I fixed it.
There are lots of opinions about the integrity of the election, the irregularities of mail-in voting, of election voting machines and voting software. One of the companies is Smartmatic, and we reached out to one of the leading authorities on open source software for elections, Eddie Perez, for his insight and views. Eddie is the Global Director of Tech Development at the Open Source Election Technology Institute. We asked him for his assessment of Smartmatic and recent claims about the company.
Have you seen any evidence that Smartmatic software was used to flip votes anywhere in the U.S. in this election?
I have not seen any evidence that Smartmatic software was used to delete, change, alter anything related to vote tabulation.
Smartmatic says its software was never used outside of L.A. County in 2020. Do you know whether or not that's true?
That is my understanding. Smartmatic functioned as the contract manufacturer for the Los Angeles County voting system, and that was a customized system that was effectively built to the county's order. I am not aware of them having any other direct customers, relationships with election officials in the United States.
What about Smartmatic and Dominion? Do you know if they're related, whether one owns the other, whether Dominion uses Smartmatic software?
Both Dominion and Smartmatic have individually and respectively put out very clear statements from their corporate headquarters, each of them indicating they are independent companies.
That's a giveaway, isn't it? Corporate. So, you know, they're only doing this because there's money on the line. I mean, you can easily slander a public figure a bunch of times, but these are two businesses that are like, hang on a second, you're defaming us and you're going to ruin our business and you're going to mess up our finances. So, we're not going to take that lying down and you're going to be held accountable if you lie. Wow. Fantastic.
They are not related to each other. It is my understanding that neither one of them has an ownership stake in the other or anything like that. They are, again, for all intents and purposes, two completely separate companies.
Have you seen any evidence of a connection between George Soros and Smartmatic?
I'm not aware of any direct connection between George Soros and Smartmatic. It is my understanding that an executive at Smartmatic has some sort of relationship with one of Soros's foundations. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Have you seen any evidence of Smartmatic sending U.S. votes to be tabulated?
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one, guys. Wow, they're actually doing a fact check on themselves. Like, they're actually debunking the biggest talking points from their own audience. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh-wee. That is scary. I am sorry, guys. That is embarrassing.
foreign countries.
No, I'm not aware of any evidence that Smartmatic is sending U.S. votes to be tabulated in foreign countries. Again, I'm not aware outside of Los Angeles County of Smartmatic tabulating any votes.
Yeah, they're literally going through the list of all the biggest conspiracies and debunking them. They're conspiracies that they allowed their own audience to come up with or suggest. Oh my, wow. America's a reality circus.
Votes in the United States because I'm not aware of them having any customer relationships in the U.S. And secondly, as others have pointed out, irrespective of which voting technology vendor we're talking about, in the United States, the ballots that are cast in the United States are tabulated in the United States.
Are you aware of any instances in which Smartmatic's technology was banned in the U.S. in 2020 due to security weaknesses or wrongdoing?
I am not. I'm not aware of any instances where Smartmatic's technology was banned in the U.S. Again, it is my understanding that...
Okay, I'm going to stop there. They're already dead. Wow. That is... Oh, man, they're already humiliated. That is so sad. That is so sad. I had to go this way. It's embarrassing. Now, I know the liberal snowflakes, they're not perfect, guys, but they're not Republicans. I mean, honestly, what is that? That's so sad. Just be honest. Oh, and that's the thing. I actually genuinely, I have this fear that, I mean, I'm fine here, from where I am, but that the majority of people that did vote for him, actually believe that stuff. I have no problem with you voting for Donald Trump, all right? And it's going to hurt some people, some leftists. But, you know, if it's on the basis of verifiably false information or you know, unverifiable claims that attack or tackle the opposition, then you're a little bit of a clown. Go and put on your red nose, mate. All right, anyway, have a lovely Christmas. And yeah, this is actually slightly more hilarious than all the montages with the SJWs, because this is essentially what it is. This is the same thing. This is like the SJW. The anti-SJWs have become the SJWs. And actually, to be honest, I don't even think the SJW thing's funny, because America's the same country that have literally only just made, only just, the land of the free has only just given, LGBTQ people like marriage rights. Only just like in recent history, like freedom, more freedom. Wow. Don't get me started on poverty. That's a video essay. All right. Anyway, enjoy. Have a good day.